guys, it's Steven, and today I'm going to be breaking down an R&B sample that I made in the style of someone like Party Next Door or Bryson. So let's get into it. So before I start breaking it down, this is what the final sample actually sounds like. So there's that, and now I'm going to start breaking down the elements in this sample. So the first thing I started with in this sample was actually this bass. For the preset, I just found it in Analog Lab, and it's called Bass Kelm, and so here's what it sounds like. And then moving on, what I did for the processing is I just added this EQ to boost some of the mid frequencies, and then I just added this R bass with the mid-range gun boost preset. So the next thing I decided to add after that were the chords, and for the chords I actually went into Keyscape and I just used the default sound, which is like a sine type sound, and then I just played out these chords that sound like this. So for the processing on the Keyscape, all I did was I just added this EQ and I just took out a lot of the highs and lows and a little bit of the high mids. After that, I just added this effect rack with this phase mistress, because I feel like phasing is something that's used a lot in popular R&B songs. And then after that, I just added this J37 preset. I just added this to make it sound a little bit more vintage. And the next thing I added was this sound shifter, and I brought it up an octave, but I actually created an automation track to make it go in and out, so it'd have like a pitch bend effect on the sound. And then the last two plugins I added were just this Valhalla reverb and then this RC20. After that, I just decided to render out the pad, and then I chopped it up and reversed it to sound something like this. And then as you can tell, there's a good amount of processing plugins on the pad, so I'm going to go pretty in depth in this one. So the first sound that I added was this low pass and high pass filter to take out a lot of the frequencies. And then I added this tremulator plugin by GHC, and basically what this plugin does is it makes it stutter a little bit. And then for this plugin, I actually created an automation track again, and I made the effect go up near the end of each chord. After that, I just added another reverb with a super small decay. And then I added this pancake with the mix turned down pretty low. And then the last three plugins that I added were this DAW cassette by Club Grand. This just makes it sound a little bit more vintage. And then I added another phaser by Arturia. This is actually one of their new plugins, which I really been liking a lot, so be sure to go check those out. So anyways, the next part of the sample I added was this percussion loop by Only One, and so here's what it sounds like. So as you can tell, it's pretty minimal and it's kind of in the background of the sample. I just added it to give it a little bit more texture and bounce. And then for the processing, I just added this EQ to take out a lot of the highs and lows again. And then I added another pancake to pan it from left to right. And then the last thing I added was this effect rack preset that I made. It's basically just another phase mistress, but the only difference is that I added this Echo Boy Jr. preset called Memory Springs. It's basically just a spring reverb that kind of gives it like a wobbly reverb effect. Moving on, the second to last thing that I added was just this percussion sound I found in a random kit. I just pitched it down by 6 and then threw it into effects channel, where I added an EQ to take out a lot of the highs and lows. And then I added this reverb preset by Valhalla. And then the last thing I added was this Memory Springs preset again in the Echo Boy Jr. And so here's what it sounds like. So again, it's pretty in the background, but I kind of just wanted to have something where the snare would go. And then the last thing I added was this vocal from Arcade that sounds like this. And basically the processing on this sound was just taking a lot of the highs and lows and then taking a little bit of the mids. And then after that, I just added this Valhalla reverb preset called Smallwood Room. And then the last thing I added was another EQ to take out some of the harsh frequencies and then again some of the highs. And so altogether, this is what the sample sounds like again. So that's it for the sample. If you guys want to download it, there's going to be a free download link in the description, so be sure to go check that out. Anyways, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Also, be sure to go follow my social medias at StevenSchaefer_ on all platforms. And so yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.